Hi, it's Ileana. So today we're going to cover Galactic Federation of Worlds overview. People have been asking me, is the Galactic Federation of Worlds real? What is it? Where did it come from? What does it do? So this covers that information. And I'm going to begin by saying that the Galactic Federation of Worlds, it does not have emissary representatives for it that speak for it. They don't communicate with humans through channeling. Sometimes they communicate with people through telepathy if there's something important that humans need to learn from them. Sometimes they do that. But what they don't do is they don't have human representatives or ambassadors or emissaries that represent them and what happens in the Galactic Federation of Worlds as news, like public news. They don't do that. That's not their policy. They have non-interference laws, so they don't interfere with human evolution, with human society. They're just here to protect our planet so it doesn't get infiltrated or destroyed, to prevent destruction of the planet. That's what they do security-wise. That's what they do on other planets. And they will only intervene in extreme cases. If the planet is close to destruction, they'll evacuate the planet and the people. They have the infrastructure to do that. They have huge arc ships. They have huge spaceships that can do this. And it's been done before sometimes. But that only, you'll see them only if something is happening so drastic on the planet. They'll intervene only then. But again, they don't have any human emissaries, any ambassadors, any representatives that officially speak for them. That's not how they work. They work behind the scenes. They have military facilities in our solar system that is for security and protection, but they don't invite humans to visit their ships. They don't invite humans to sit on their meetings. That only happens in rare cases if there's something really big going on. Again, the Galactic Federation of Worlds is a huge organization of many species and races members. So I'm going to cover what it is. The Galactic Federation is known by several names, like the Galactic Federation of Worlds, Confederation of Planets, and the Interstellar Alliance. GFW is an organization that is a cooperation of space-traveling civilizations in our Milky Way galaxy. The Federation consists of hundreds of thousands of members and was founded millions of years ago after a series of wars in the Lyra constellation. So they have members that are Pleiadian, that are Andromedan, that are Sirian, many different worlds, even from other galaxies like the Andromeda galaxy. The destruction that happened on that occasion led to the survivors trying from then on to solve galactic conflicts in a peaceful way. But they do have a strong military presence, and they have fleets for protection. They do protect member worlds, and they even protect worlds who are not members, but are being impacted by what's happening in this Milky Way galaxy. Every inhabited galaxy in our universe has a federation, but ours is one of the eldest. The Galactic Federation has an enormous fleet of spaceships at its disposal that mediate, or if needed, intervene in any place where conflicts impend or arise. The interdimensional technologies that they can use are of such a high level that we can hardly imagine them. Their control of energy is almost perfect. So things like dematerializing, becoming invisible, or the creation of small orbs of energy that can be released with an assignment, for example, to create crop circles, is no problem at all. They can do that easily. The Galactic Federation of Worlds has advanced technology, including magnetic force fields and laser beams to protect planets from asteroids. There is holographic and quantum technology that the GFW utilizes that allows for them to physically show themselves by shifting densities and projecting their ships and crew into planetary systems when they need to do so. They do not show themselves to humans, rarely if ever. Only if there's an extreme need to do so, then they do. GFW ships are often created of living material. Some are as large as planets and are totally self-sufficient with woods, fields, and rivers. Think biosphere domes on ships. That's exactly what it is. The bigger ships of the Galactic Federation are self-contained worlds, literally huge. They're huge biological spaceships with biosphere domes to sustain having living beings live there for a long time while traveling in space, in the fleets, in the exploration ships, because they have many different kinds of ships. The Federation's fleet consists of ships of the participating nations and several single operating fleets. Some of these fleets are headed by commanders who have become somewhat renowned on Earth, like the crew from Ashtar Command, who have their military headquarters in the sky cities on Jupiter and facilities on the moon of Ganymede. The Galactic Federation is controlled by a large council made up of smaller councils that themselves consist of even smaller councils, each of which has representation from all of the separate members that are part of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. This way, this enormous organization stays manageable. The hierarchy between members is usually determined by their spiritual development. The most highly evolved members are beautiful light beings who voice the will of God. So there's even light beings that are members of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Some of them are not physical in how they are as living beings. They might not have a physical body. They could be light beings, which some of them are at that higher state of the members. The Galactic Federation of Worlds is huge, it's large. At this moment, a considerable part of the Galactic Federation is present around the Earth to bring the tumultuous end of our cycle of duality to a happy conclusion. Although our whole universe ascends, the ascension of the Earth is a different story. The millions of ships that are currently hovering around the Earth are roughly split into 3 layers, of which the outer layer contains the biggest ships. This is not static unity, but a continuous arrival and departure of all kinds of ships that use the hyperspace and stargates like the sun to travel to their home planets or other places in the universe. Yes, there's a lot of cloaked spaceships around Earth, the sun, the moon, and Mars, Jupiter, Ganymede. They come and go. Some of them belong to the founder races, some of them belong to the seeder races, to the federations, confederations that are part of the Milky Way galaxy and the Andromeda galaxy. Like millions of ships that are cloaked, coming in and out. And the sun is a huge stargate. It is not just one giant hot ball of energy. It's actually not very hot and not very cold. It's a mixture. It has a huge corona. There's living beings inside the sun, and it's a huge stargate portal as well to other galaxies, to other star systems. It's more than what it seems or what we've been told. So this is the 3 layers of the ships, what they look like. There's many, many ships. So this diagram is interesting to look at. And there's cigar-shaped ships that Pleiadians have. There's disc-shaped ships that the Galactic Federation of Worlds has, dome ships, circular ships, elongated ships like huge motherships, and even biological crystalline ships that the Pleiadians have, which are interdimensional and multidimensional. They can travel beyond the speed of light. So there's millions of these kinds of ships. There's biosphere ships, there's space station hubs that are being built near Jupiter, and there's a second Stargate portal being built behind Jupiter. So there's a lot going on in this particular galaxy right now. The 3 layers of spaceships of the Galactic Federation, which of course have to be interpreted 3-dimensionally to see what the structure looks like on that map that we looked at. They constantly monitor the Earth and make sure that not a single species with less than friendly intentions can visit the Earth anymore. Since the population on Earth is human, the human civilizations within the Galactic Federation play an important role in the assistance with our ascension process. To this group belong, for example, the Pleiadians and the Sirians. About 40% of the Galactic Federation is human. They look humanoid. They have humanoid features. The rest consists of other species and light beings. Many of them share a genetic link with us, but are more highly developed than we are in terms of psychic abilities, size, strength, etc. And they could live in higher densities and dimensions. That's what is meant by them being more highly developed. They have visited our planet for millions of years and left behind many souvenirs such as buildings, space arc ships, and art objects, although many of them have been made by negative alien visitors as well, who are not a part of the Galactic Federation. This link with extraterrestrials is hidden as much as possible by mainstream science, which is under the control of the Illuminati. And this is a diagram of pyramid structures on Earth in a very interesting location. So this is a picture of an underwater pyramid complex resembling the constellation of the Pleiades. If you enter these coordinates, 41, 13, 30 north, 72, 41 west on Google Earth, you arrive at the Long Island Sound, a 20 to 100 meters deep bay near New York. Interesting. That's some of the interesting artifacts here on Earth. So, to obey the universal law of non-interference as much as possible, the contact with Earthlings has been kept to a minimum by the Galactic Federation until now. People that they contact directly, like Billy Meyer, Switzerland, Carlos Diaz of Mexico, and Howard Menger of the US, often have a genetic link with a certain galactic civilization. They live a life on Earth on behalf of them so that their experiences can be shared later. As this usually happens in a higher dimension, others can literally tap into the energy of a certain experience and relive it. So, Galactic Federation of Worlds does contact people telepathically, and they have experiences of understanding the greater cosmos of the universe for the purposes of learning and evolution. But they're not spokespersons that publicly have huge channels and speak about news happening in the galaxy. They're not publicizing the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They might be sharing experiences, but they're not turning this into a space saga, a literal galactic space saga of commercialization. Every week, news of this and news of that. Galactic Federation of Worlds keeps their security and keeps what happens in it to themselves. They don't publicize it through human representatives, ambassadors, or emissaries. For the sake of security, they don't reveal information of any such magnitude to humans. They meet in highly secured meetings that are shielded and cloaked so nobody can infiltrate what's going on in their inner rankings. It's not for public consumption by humans at this time. So the perception of what's been told about the Galactic Federation of Worlds and these constant news updates, that's not the real reality of what's going on. But to each their own, to people who claim to represent the Galactic Federation of Worlds as emissaries, ambassadors, and representatives, publicly speaking on behalf of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, that's your business, what you do, but that's not the reality. That's not how this organization functions. Wherever you're getting your info from, it's most likely not the Galactic Federation of Worlds, because that's not how they operate in a physical reality. That's not their way. They follow non-interference strictly. They don't give out names of their pilots, of their commanders, of their operations, who they've taken down, who they're currently evacuating to other planets. They don't share that information publicly. That's not their way. That was never their way, and they don't do things like that. They don't share names, they don't share dates, they don't share how-tos. That's not how they do it. There's barely any real information about the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Like barely anything that substantially even come close to what it really is. This was the closest I could find that's relatable. So again, what I found interesting is that people have been contacted and they have a genetic link. They share experiences. And that sounds realistic to me. So only by exception of friendships between friendly aliens and earthlings arise when this was not originally planned to happen. It's done for soul evolution and soul growth. Generally, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, stay in the background as much as possible. However, they are the guarantee that the ascension process goes as planned and that the actions of the Illuminati, who are trying everything to disturb this process, are not too effective. They're keeping the oxygen level in our air up to the mark, preventing nuclear attacks and wars, cleaning up radioactive fallout, eliminating chemical pollution, chemtrails, and diseases, and minimizing the effects from natural disasters, man-made or not, etc., protecting our world from being destroyed completely. That is what the Galactic Federation of Worlds does. As soon as the heads of government of the countries on Earth who mostly know of their existence, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, yes, certain governments know of their existence. As soon as those governments exercise transparency and total disclosure, all of this will change. According to telepathic communications, which are the way that the members of the Galactic Federation sometimes communicate with us until now, they will then show themselves in public more, and their superior technology will partially become available for us. Right now, none of their technology is available to us, and they have a lot of crystalline technology that could be shared. Normally, we would refrain from direct contact as it is essential to allow developing civilizations to find their own path to understanding and experience as they choose. It would be quite incorrect if, in desiring to assist you, we altered your course of evolution. That is why we often explain to you that we cannot be seen to interfere. GFW, Non-Interference Prime Directive. They don't have any official representatives, emissaries, advisors, ambassadors to Earth who directly speak about what the GFW does and what their organization is. Nobody speaks on their behalf or gives weekly galactic news updates of what they do. That's not their way. That's not how this is done. So something is obviously going on because there's a lot of information being told about what the Galactic Federation of Worlds does or doesn't do. Humans say they're channeling certain beings from the Galactic Federation of Worlds, commanders, pilots, representatives. And constant news is being given to humans about Galactic Federation of Worlds, commanders, pilots, ambassadors, representatives. Is this real? We need to ask ourselves, how real is all of this? Are we really getting galactic news updates from human sources, emissaries, claiming that they are emissaries for Galactic Federation of Worlds? I'm not going to say what I think. That doesn't matter. That's not how it works in reality. That's all I'll say about that and leave it at that. Is the Galactic Federation of Worlds real? Yes, it is. Have many other organizations that are not so pure and clean have tried to infiltrate it in the past? Yes, Anunnaki has tried to infiltrate them. Shape-shifting reptilians have tried to infiltrate them. Other organizations have tried to infiltrate them for millions of years to stop them from doing the work that they do of protectorate. And there's been rebel groups and splinters of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They always manage to fix their issues and clean it up eventually and still be what they are today. They're a huge organization of many galactic species members who have fleets of their own ships, and they have their own ways of protecting themselves and others. So this is a real organization, and they have 2 headquarters on 2 different planets that are highly protected and shielded. So I remember from past life stuff sitting in on meetings of Galactic Federation of Worlds, like actual meetings, where they talk about what they'll do to protect planets, if there's any kind of incursions, wars, sending out guardians to help clean that up. And I remember this as one of the headquarters on one of the major planets where these headquarters are. I'm not going to say which planets the headquarters are because that's protected, but this is literally the memory I have of what the main headquarters look like for the Galactic Federation of Worlds. This left an impression on me, and this is the second headquarters. They have a lot of round cities, structures, water, and they have energy being emitted from the headquarters 1 and 2. This is shielded and cloaked, but this is what it looks like. It's in the middle of mountains and water and forest, and it's surrounded like that by nature. And it has energy emitting from these huge headquarters structures, which shields and cloaks the headquarters. So that's protected. But I remember the how this looks like. It was not easy finding these images. It was just, wow, it was not easy to find the images of what this looks like or how it works. But I did, because this is from my past life memories of being one of the guardians in the meetings of the Galactic Federation of Worlds when they were discussing what they were going to do for planetary safety, etc., etc. So for me, this is something I remember. And I wanted to talk about that today a little bit and share the information that I know about the Galactic Federation of Worlds and what it does and what it doesn't do. Thank you so much.